I'd just like to take a minute and talk to people why people aren't going to the church buildings the way that they used to. We could blame this on COVID, but if we dig a little bit deeper, people are looking for practical solutions. People today have real problems. So if all you offer is like a couple songs and a talk, they can watch that online. You need to offer something that goes beyond that, something that is actually life-giving and life-changing to people. If you look at the way the early church met, it was all about spiritual formation. And what that really means is they spent most of their time on the vertical relationship of getting to know who God is. So they would get together, they would read the Psalms, and they would think deeply about who God is, and they would ask questions like, what does this say about God? What does it say about people? And everybody in the meeting would contribute, so everybody got built up. It was essentially like they got a spiritual workout, and if you read in Acts 2:42, they did this just about every day. So they would do this 7 days a week. They would be getting spiritual workouts so they would have strong formation. Compare this to the church we have in America, where we go to church, we sing some songs, and we listen to a talk, and we quickly forget every single thing that was said. The pastor doesn't take time to individually go to us and say, hey, what stood out to you? Or offer any sort of prompts that we can have that deep reflection. And we need that. We need to be spiritually mature, and I believe there's no way for us to be spiritually mature if we don't know who God is. Once we know who God is and we know his character, the character of Jesus, we come to love him. And when you love him, our love for him expands, it grows, and we're able to love others. So that's really why church needs to change to keep up with the times, because the whole mission of the church is for us to love God and love others. And that's something that really isn't possible by just passively consuming some information or knowing some facts or even memorizing scripture. It only comes from deep meditative reflection on who God is. And that's something that I've never really understood, because when I was in my much younger years, I would read the Gospels and they would talk about Jesus and his character, and I would look at that. Well, today we don't really get into the Gospels very much. I never been to a church service where they just read the Gospel, a chapter, and ask people what stands out, or what does it say about God, or what does it say about people, and get into that deep work. And you'll hear people and say, oh, that's what we have small groups for. Well, how about we just do church in a biblical format? If you're not getting